Get ready to stand atop a mountain of indie game releases this week, as a new survival climber coming to us from the creators of Fury and Haven is headed your way. But that is not all, as a slew of other new indie and AA releases are coming at ya. We've got a full rundown right now on this episode of The Dream Drop. Greetings indie warriors and welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. My name is Scrambled Ashton and I'm bringing you all the exciting game releases for the week of January 26th, heading into the month of love, February 1st. If you love indies as much as we do, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for all those notifications, and most importantly, support real people making real things over at patreon.com/I Dream of Indie Games, where your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Please note though that this list does not include early access games. First up, a game for those of us who would love to see the views from atop a great mountain, but don't quite have the upper body strength to drag ourselves up the side of it. Cairn promises to be a realistic climbing sim that needs you to find the best hold, manage your backpack's weight, and discover the secrets of the mountain as you ascend. The controls are simple, but the climbing is difficult. Cairn launches on the 29th, but if you want to find out more about it before you buy, you can check out our coverage this week. Have you ever tried going to a Costco on a Saturday afternoon? If so, then you know that shopping can be hell. Hellmart, coming to us from Gaze in Games on the 28th, takes a bad outing at the grocery store to the next level, as it features customers that are literally from hell. Play the role of a clerk running a convenience store with operations being mostly normal by day, though be warned, the creeps come out at night. You'll need to hide away from these goons, barricade the doors, and even use brute force in the worst case scenarios. It's a shopping simulator meets survival horror game with different story outcomes and no shortage of frights. Are you too scared to give it a go? Hey bestie, get ready to shoot to the rhythm of the beat in a dreamy FPS coming to us from Funny Fintan Softworks and Quali called Don't Stop Girly Pop. Arena shooters aren't usually my jam, but there's something alluring about this pink pop-soaked release that has me eager to give it a go. The game is all about momentum. The quicker you go, the more damage you'll dish out. If it wasn't obvious, the developers also have a sense of humour. Shoot for high scores and decorate your gun in a variety of ways. It's like Barbie fucked Shadow Warrior and had a baby, and it's headed your way on the 29th. Based on a popular comic book series, we next have I Hate This Place, dropping on PC and consoles on the 29th. Fans of isometric survival horror games should be excited for this one, with its unique crafting systems, stealth sections, and 80s aesthetic looking to spice up the genre. Sound design is also a key element of gameplay, as you'll need to hear which direction monsters are coming from so that you don't get ambushed. From shotguns to grenades, there is no shortage of weaponry to help even the odds and keep the enemies at bay. Hopefully, we don't hate this game when it drops this week. What do you say we get back to our roots now, eh? Roots Devour is a fascinating looking indie that's planting its seeds on the 27th. That sounded a bit gross in retrospect, didn't it? Described as a strategy exploration game with a card connection element, you must guide routes over varied terrains and take over cities on a quest for world conquest. That's right, it looks like you get to be the bad guy. Or the bad routes? Naughty naughty. With hundreds of cards and 7 connected routes, Roots Devour will likely eat up hours of gamers' time. Are you prepared to get down and dirty? Gentlemen, ladies, those in between, start your engines. It's time to take a cruise, but not a booze cruise on a boat. Instead, a bike ride through treacherous high-speed courses. This is the blazing fast Lanesplit, where, just as the title implies, you'll precariously shift through lanes attempting to up your score. Be careful because it's easy to crash when you're shooting down the road at 110 miles per hour. That's almost as fast as Sonic the Hedgehog. What is Sonic's top speed, by the way? Let me know in the comments if you do know the answer. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. See if Lanesplit crashes and burns on the 28th, and keep locked into our shorts feed, where you might just learn more about this one. Next up is a gorgeous looking Metroidvania with a bright, colourful art style and some unique, surreal enemy designs. I speak of The Perfect Pencil, an emotional journey which focuses on platforming, combat and intense boss battles, manifesting from elements of the human psyche. This one has been a long time coming, and we can't wait to see if it meets its potential when The Perfect Pencil launches on PC and Switch on the 29th. Now let's look at a survival horror game with a unique sci-fi twist. Fear the Timeloop is a game where you play as Sheriff James Cooper, who is stuck reliving the same 15 minutes every time he bleeds to death in the hospital he finds himself in. And to make matters worse, there are monsters basically everywhere. Cool! Fear the Timeloop also features a branching dialogue system, Metroidvania-like progression, and different usable abilities, so hopefully this time loop can stay fresh as James hunts a relentless serial killer. Check out Fear the Timeloop when it releases on Steam on the 30th. Co-op horror games are all the rage these days, so let's throw another one into the mix. Dreadway is a horror game for 1 to 4 players where you'll try to survive the aftermath of a nuclear apocalypse. But of course, there is a twist, which is that you'll need to use your voice to unlock doors, open locks and scare away monsters. You'll also have to keep your train fueled and scavenge for resources, but don't forget to goof around with your friends a little bit too. Dreadway releases on January 26th. Alright, that's enough horror for a little bit. Let's take a look at something different with Plinbo, roguelike Plinko, which is about as self-explanatory a title as you can get. Strategically build your deck and take on wild challenges as you make your way through each run, and enjoy a visual design that's meant to be oddly satisfying, which is hard to disagree with once you've looked at it. Check it out when it releases on Steam on the 31st of January. Sticking to the theme of self-explanatory titles, our next release is Fish Hunter's Most Lethal Fishing Simulator. If you're into fishing games but think they tend to have too few guns, this goofy co-op fish hunting game might just be the ticket to fulfill your strange, specific desires. The game features several unique locations, over 140 different species of fish, and the ability to chill by the fire once you've shot enough fish into oblivion. And you can try it for yourself when it hits Steam on January 30th. Now let's check out a new roguelike city builder inspired by Against the Storm. This is Feastopia, a game where you'll build a charming foodie-focused metropolis while unlocking different abilities through each roguelike run. The game features a charming cartoonish visual style and a wide variety of interesting dishes to supply your foodie capital with. Give it a go when it releases on the 29th. Customise your character, support your squad, and deck yourself out in fortified armour as a juggernaut soldier in Shadows of Soldiers. In this third-person PvP shooter, you'll be part of a team of 8 facing off against a team of the same number as you engage in cover-based shooting where a mix of teamwork and strategy are necessary for you to prevail. There are different classes to play as and each have unique abilities. Play in either Conquest or Team Deathmatch mode, each with their own maps and scenarios. Trigger-happy gamers can pick this up when it launches on Steam January 30th. Remember those old text-adventure RPGs from the retro days? In Run TavernQuest, releasing on January 27th, you will revisit that style, but with an innovative twist. Instead of taking on the role of the protagonist, you will be the game master, who decides the consequences of the actions taken by an incompetent player named Steve. You will control interactions with the environment and NPCs as Steve stumbles along the way of his journey. Will you take pity and attempt to help him, or will you laugh as his adventure heads in a downward spiral of hilarious failure? Game masters can create their campaigns when Run TavernQuest releases on Steam January 27th. While their peers are partying and possibly making impulsive decisions they will live to regret on graduation night in Lucid Falls, a group of teenagers sneak out to make their own kind of reckless choices that may result in the ending of their lives as they explore the Spirit Lift, a haunted elevator located in the hotel hosting the party. In this roguelike deck builder, you will guide a trio as they traverse 13 levels, gaining cards, gold, gear and upgrades. on a mission to defeat the boss that awaits you in the penthouse. The layout of the floors will differ depending on which boss you ultimately face, and additional characters, bosses and events will be unlocked with multiple playthroughs. For those who love hunting ghosts and building decks, the Spirit Lift launches on Steam January 27th. As a former alien overlord who accidentally surrendered to invading humans, you must now take back your kingdom and get revenge in Earth Must Die. In this darkly comedic homage to the classic point-and-click adventure games of the 90s, players will control Vivalic Lizard Tongue, Grand Shepherd of the Tirithian Empire, as he airs grievances and develops a plan to take back the throne that is rightfully his through nepotism. With a visual presentation that harkens back to British animation of the 90s, and a cast of recognisable voice actors, this could be something special. Players can take revenge on January 27th when it launches on Steam. Time for a cute, cosy puzzle game to settle down with, as long as you don't get too hungry first. Bento Blocks is a puzzler about slicing pieces of food into different arrangements to then fit them neatly into a bento box. The game features over 100 levels, each of which aims to introduce something new to the mix, along with a cosy soundtrack and overall vibe to get that noggin a little bit of a workout. Check it out yourself by either playing the free demo available now, or the full game which releases on the 29th. There is a dragon girl sentenced to die in 5 days, and you have the role of interrogating her with the ability to press a button to execute her immediately if necessary. How the story will unfold and what ending you get will depend on when or if you press the button, and the choices you make. Playthroughs will take around 5 minutes each, and there are 13 different endings to experience. Microgames like this can be a nice way to kill an hour, and this is a remake of a game that was previously released for free back in 2023. You can check it out for yourself when Someday launches January 28th on Steam. In a dark fantasy take on early 80s Europe, auctions are being held in which instead of money, memories are used for bidding. However, memories can become distorted or clouded from trauma and secrets. Players will take on the role of Noah, who assists the bidders in reaching the true memories of what actually happened. You will explore a 3D castle that hosts the auctions and discover clues from searching the rooms and floors of the castle and by interrogating the participants. Players will utilise the word cloud system and implemented reason and deduction to discover the truth of the memories. Those who want to investigate the mind will find that opportunity when Dark Auction launches on Steam January 28th. Now it's time to shake that big metal booty in Steel Century Groove, an undeniably weird rhythm RPG where you control giant mechs in dance battles? You heard that right, folks. This is a strange, bubbly mech game where it is less about blowing each other to smithereens and more about destroying each other on the dance floor. You can try it for yourself with a free demo and play the full game when it releases on the 28th. Do you think a combination of psychological horror and survival horror make a potent mix? Then the 9th Charnel might be your kind of nightmare scenario. Explore and engage in combat from a first-person perspective, and use your knowledge of the environment to evade deadly foes, solve mysterious puzzles, manage resources, and try to prevent yourself from breaking down in this deadly adventure. Players will take on the role of Michael J. Jones, and will meet up with 5 other characters with their own backstories and motives. Who will you trust and who will survive? You'll find out when it launches on January 30th for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Put your survival skills to the test under extreme conditions in Nova Antarctica. While this Antarctic trial doesn't involve the threat of a shape-shifting alien like in the 1982 John Carpenter horror classic The Thing, it still has plenty of dangerous threats like blizzards, frigid temperatures, radiation hazards, and even viral infections. Explore fascinating frozen landscapes and interact with the native wildlife in this survival adventure. Nova Antarctica releases on Steam January 28th. Engage in the excitement and intrigue of a tale of clashing factions in a medieval fantasy world with Prophecy of Ashen. In this turn-based tactical RPG, you will play as a messenger between these clashing groups, and you will have to make difficult decisions that impact the outcome of the story. Will you stay faithful to the church, even though it has been damaged by corruption, or will you side with the Syndikin, who bring the prospect of revolution but also the potential for chaos? You will have to be strategic, not just in combat, but also in the choices that you make. For those who like to live dangerously, Prophecy of Ashen launches on Steam January 30th. The roguelike survivor genre gets a cosmic adaptation in Arcadium Space Odyssey. You will customize your spaceship to take on the alien hordes that will charge at you relentlessly. You can combine artifacts, talents, items, and relics to create a build that fits your playing style. And between each mission, you can harvest resources from various planets to prepare for the next attack. The universe is procedurally generated, offering an endless variety to your runs. For those who want to engage on this survival space odyssey, it launches on Steam January 26th. We've seen a lot of indies work well on Steam Deck, but I'm not sure we'll ever see a game specifically developed for Steam Deck outside of Valve's own Aperture Desk Job app. Alas, that is what we see here with Game with Balls, a game where you'll use a gyroscope to navigate a ball for a variety of handcrafted mazes. It looks simple, but there's a scrappy, undeniably relaxing charm to it all that could make it worth a look for somebody looking for a chill puzzle experience. Check it out when it lands on Steam on the 27th. Want to play an online co-op horror game with zero microtransactions? Then Necrosis Dawn of Dread might just be for you. In this co-op survival horror FPS, you will choose one of 12 characters to play, and your squad will make the best with limited ammo, experiment with a variety of weapons, and solve puzzles in your struggle to survive. The enemy placement, the puzzles you will encounter, and item locations are randomised, so no playthroughs will be the same. There is even a single player mode for those who are up for the challenge. Those wanting to experience camaraderie while fighting off the undead can do so on January 30th when it launches on Steam. Chromatic Conundrum is a unique puzzle game from a first-person perspective where the emphasis is on the manipulation of light. You'll have to strategically form shadows, combine colours and shift parts of the environment that will reveal your path to progress in this mysterious world. For those who are worried about getting stuck on a puzzle, fear not, for there are visual hints in each level to lead you in the right direction. There is even a colourblind mode to make it even more accessible. You can begin playing with shadows in Chromatic Conundrum when it launches on Steam January 26th. If there's one thing that's certain about Beary, the next release on this week's list, it's that there's no way a AAA publisher could ever release something like this. An incremental game about tossing berries down a mysterious hole that keeps growing. The berries are all smiling, there's a banana for some reason, even though a banana is not a berry, and there's clearly nothing unusual going on in this colourful garden full of totally normal vibes. Whatever this is, it's really goddamn weird, and I am here for it. Beary releases on the 29th. Vampire Survivor meets all the things I find cute in Chumini Tiny Army, which is set to launch on the 30th. You'll need to summon an army of tiny little guys known as Chuminis, all with their own movement pattern and skills, to battle against waves of forest demons. There are 15 different little guys to choose from, and you'll need to manage all of their abilities in order to take down the unique enemies and bosses in the colourful world of the forest. So if your survivors are getting a bit too gruesome, and you need something cute in your life, why not hop into Chumini Tiny Army this week? I can't figure out why, but apparently running a small kingdom is hard. People need feeding, housing and jobs. Ugh, why are they so needy? Automatic Kingdom is a turn-based strategy game all about building the perfect kingdom that smashes together elements of board games, automation and city builders. Play cards to add citizens, buildings and other resources to your kingdom, and the better the synergy, the more powerful your kingdom will be, especially when hostile nations attack or nature gets out of control. Automatic Kingdom is a simple looking but in-depth city builder that launches on the 29th. Let me ask you, what do you think is the fastest insect? Did you say worm? Then congratulations, you are correct. And how do I know that? Well, because I've seen them racing in race worms. This worm racing game can be played online or locally with up to 6 players, and if you want to win, you'll need to be best at burrowing, leaping and dashing through lots of dynamic tracks. You can customise your worm's attire and race off against your friends in this picture book racing game when it launches on the 27th. Another bullet hell for those of us who like our games a bit cuter than bullet hells normally are, it's Rightfully Beary Arms. Despite how cute it it's still a bullet hell roguelite, so you'll need to make sure your weapons' powers are augmented to make taking down enemies just a bit easier. You'll travel through the realms of a dreamscape, choosing which route to go to tailor each run, and the more times you upgrade and play through the game, you might just find yourself absolutely unstoppable. Rightfully Beary Arms leaves early access on the 27th. If you're looking for a beautiful cozy VR adventure, but you're stuck with a PSVR, then never fear. The vibrant world of Umami Grove is finally coming to PlayStation. In Umami Grove, you'll jump, climb, swing, and explore a bunch of different biomes, all with their own ingredients to collect that can be used to make delicious meals. Everything in the world can be interacted with, and the NPCs that live in this colourful grove have their own tasks for you to complete. With mostly positive reviews on Steam regarding the PC version, and reviews calling it a short but sweet adventure, make sure to grab this one on your PlayStation VR when it drops on the 27th. We've all experienced games where you play as a superhero, but are you curious about what goes on behind the scenes? In Dispatch, you will manage a motley crew of superheroes to help out in emergencies, and also find a balance managing work and personal life, dealing with office politics, friendly and romantic relationships, and your own desire to become a hero. You'll experience disasters averted, tragic failures, and maybe even fall in love. Keep in mind though, that this one is for a mature audience, and you can set out on that mix of work and adventure when it launches for both Switch consoles on January 28th. This last game has gone straight on my wishlist, as it includes my personal favourite buzzwords: cozy, puzzle, adventure. Oh, it is like someone has made a game just for me. Spring Tales tasks players with helping rebuild the town of Blossomdale after a major storm has caused havoc, and the best way to do that is by solving a series of satisfying puzzles, whether that is packing baked goods, storing tools, or fixing broken circuits. As you solve the puzzles, you'll discover more about the story of Blossomdale, meeting the townsfolk and helping the community come together for the spring festival. You'll catch me playing this one when it launches on the 29th. So that is all the indie games we have dropping this week. Let us know in the comments if you'll be picking any of these up, or if we missed something that's dropping this week that you're looking forward to. And make sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with the latest indie news.